Hey WWE fans, be sure to check out the RCWR show live Monday nights on youtube.com/the RCWR show at 11:15 p.m. Eastern after WWE Raw for full fallout and review along with great live fan reactions.
Jim Ross was recently, I can't think of the show right now, but he did an interview and he was asked about Roman Reigns, if he thinks Roman Reigns is ready. And I was actually reading a couple of highlights of that interview, and he basically said in a nutshell, he's not ready yet, but he could be ready by WrestleMania time. It's just one of those wait and see. And poor JR, I mean, a lot of what he had said was taken out of context, and a lot of wrestling sites ran with the whole Jim Ross says Roman Reigns isn't ready, and it's like, that's not what he said, you know. And like vultures, I think it's funny how every single time he puts a blog or something out, so many people just go into his website, they do the freaking copy paste, and the majority of them don't even have the common courtesy, which JR pointed out in his blog, mind you, of making sure they put the links so you can go buy his barbecue sauce, because at the end of the day, you know, he's got to make a buck somewhere. You know, Vince Russo and Jericho, Austin, everybody else doing it. Nothing wrong with JR doing it as well, you know.
Well, I'm going to take it a step further, Lee. I'm going to say this. Roman Reigns isn't ready.
No.
He's not. But that doesn't mean he's not going to be.
Yeah.
I'm still a Roman Reigns guy. I still believe that he is the heir apparent. And you can see that the backlash to him has already started, where people are yelling Roman Reigns sucks during the Divas match.
Yeah.
Give me a break, guys. I mean, you want change, and then you get change. That's what the change we want. Well, the change you want is actually in UFC. So go watch UFC. Roman Reigns is not ready to be handed the keys to the kingdom, but he will be. He's got the ability to. He has come much further than I expected him to be at this point. His promos are very concise, very delivered. Big Show is not 600 pounds, like he said during the pre-show, so he's got to work on fixing the whole package. Yeah. But I like what he does in the ring. I like what he's doing with his promos. He's improved dramatically. He is going to have the keys to the kingdom. He's not ready yet, so everybody can blast JR all they want. JR didn't say that, but you know what? If he did say it, he was right. And let's be honest, who knows more about signing and booking talent more than Jim Ross?
Exactly.
He knows a hell of a lot more than I do, more than you do, more than you and I combined, and half, if not 3/4 of the dirt sheets combined. So let them blast all they want, because in the end, if it gets a few shots to his website and people can see something, looking for something, good for him. Controversy creates cash. I read that somewhere.
I did too. But looking at the crystal ball, going forward a little bit, if Roman's not ready by WrestleMania, I mean, let's just paint a picture real quick, all right? We got the Royal Rumble coming up in about 5 weeks, all right? Let's say Roman Reigns wins the whole deal, all right? A lot of you guys are like, oh, but that's what's... Don't assume. Anything can happen. But let's say he wins. What, 2 months to go maybe? About 3 months until WrestleMania?
2 months, yeah.
About 2 months, okay. So my whole deal is, if Roman Reigns doesn't show that he's ready leading into WrestleMania, can a guy like Dolph Ziggler slide right in there?
Absolutely. I think anything obviously is possible. Whether he's ready or not ready, they may give him the keys anyways. I mean, let's just be real. You're going to unhitch yourself from the Brock Lesnar wagon, because you're not going where he's going, or he's not going where you're going, depending on how you want to look at it. So you need to unhitch from there. A Cena run would only infuriate the internet wrestling community. That may or may not be a good or a bad thing.
Right.
I think that I don't know where they're going to go other than to Roman Reigns. Let's just be real there, because Cena and Lesnar are happening at Royal Rumble. I don't know if we can stomach another match 2 months later at Mania. I don't buy into that. So I don't know where they go other than Roman Reigns. Randy Orton is due back as early as next week. We don't know the future of Daniel Bryan at this point. He may or may not be a factor at WrestleMania.
I'm hearing, let me jump in on that one. I'm hearing that poor Daniel Bryan, he has to get more surgery apparently, and they're saying at this point he might not be back until June or July, Titus.
Well, Daniel Bryan may not be back. Period. Let's just let me lay it out.
For real, he might not be back. Period. Yeah.
There's a sports the injury bug. You're a sports fan, Lee. I'm a sports fan. There's that injury bug, and once you get the bug, sometimes you just can't shake it. Look at the great Ken Griffey Jr. Jr. was never hurt. He was incredible. He did everything that you could do in Major League Baseball. Then he got hurt, and then he got hurt again, and then he got hurt again, and then he got hurt again. So Daniel may be sitting here, and he may be hurt, and it may be over. Let's remember he's only had half a dozen years in WWE or less. He's got 12 years prior to that in the indie circuit, and it's a different circuit than it is in WWE. So yeah, it's possible his career is done for. But again, anything is possible, and of course I wouldn't be surprised that there are those in the WWE feeding that to the dirt sheets to get that out there just to surprise the world and have him come back. Because he was out there last week or so, looked pretty good hopping out there, with Rusev.
Yeah.
So I mean, at this point, if you look at the landscape, it's got to be Roman Reigns. Now the question is Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, or Roman Reigns, John Cena. That's what you're looking at Mania. One of the two. Let's just be real. Ziggler, I think, is going to be kept where he's at, and it's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. Let's put him in the Intercontinental title run. Let's make it a prestigious title like way it should be. I think Triple H buys into that. If you buy into what I think Triple H, if I were to sit and put myself into his shoes and what he thinks, for many years that Intercontinental title was the next guy up. He had it. Rock, Austin, Savage, Bret Hart. I mean, Warrior. They were next in line. So let's make it that way, and let Ziggler be the guy who does so. That's not a bad spot to be in. Let's be real for a second. It's not always about let's make him the main event guy. He can thrive for the next 6 months as the Intercontinental Champion, bringing prestige back to the title. So it's not a bad spot. So let's leave him where he's at for a second. Who goes in that main event? Unless they've got something else planned, I don't know who it is. All reports are that Lesnar's gone after Mania. So it's either him in Mania, which I imagine he probably will be, because they want to get those last few dollar signs out of him before he heads off, to go out to UFC, if that is what allegedly is going to happen. Is he going to go against Cena? Well, we've just seen him at Royal Rumble against Cena. So do we want to stomach that for the 4th time in the last 6 months? Or do we make it Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble, going up against Brock Lesnar, beating Lesnar, as it has been stated for the last 6 months that the quote-unquote leaks are? That's what's going to happen. There's nothing else that makes sense at this point.
So you're seeing Cena go over, you're seeing John Cena lose to Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble.
I think so. I think that's what's going to happen, and something probably shady and dirty, so it keeps Cena looking good. Brock doesn't beat him, quote unquote. He gets, whether it be Rollins doing something or whatever. No, I don't think he beats Lesnar.
Would you be disappointed as a John Cena fan that you are? Would you be disappointed if they have Cena go over Lesnar for the title?
No, I wouldn't be disappointed. I would, as long as there was an intelligent storyline that goes along with it. I don't understand how they would put Cena and Roman Reigns face versus face unless they Cena doing the honors and passing the torch to Roman Reigns, a la Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, WrestleMania 7. That's a possibility. But again, it's another transitional championship for John Cena. And if I'm John Cena, I'm the face of the company. I sell more merchandise than anybody else. I do more Make-A-Wish than everybody else. I do more things for the troops than anybody else. I don't want another 2-month run. Give me something where I can at least run with it for a while.
Right. So the smart booking would be to have him stay away from the title for as much as possible.
Unless you're going to give him a long run.
Yeah.
Because his last couple of runs have been short.
It has.
That's transitional. So either you give him a run, which means that you don't put Roman Reigns in the seat yet, which is a possibility too. But then you can't put Roman Reigns and Cena at Mania because you don't want to bury Reigns over Cena because you need Reigns as the future. So I think, if I'm booking, I book, Brock loses by disqualification or something like that, where Cena looks strong still, but he loses that whole thing. Maybe he throws his hat into the ring, the Royal Rumble at the last minute, and he's in the final, couple. Roman could put him out. So, Cena doesn't look bad because, my God, he just got into a huge match with Lesnar. Then he went into the Rumble and then just barely lost out to Roman Reigns. So it makes Cena still look strong and tough, and Super Cena gives you that taste of Roman Reigns and Cena because at some point that is going to happen. And you send Roman Reigns to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. But that's not a big enough draw for Mania. You need something bigger than that to draw at Levi Stadium. We're talking 80, 85, 90, God, possibly 100,000 people are going to fit in that stadium, and you need a bigger main event than that.
Cena versus Hogan.
Rock
and
versus
honestly,
Undertaker.
Yeah, and honestly, I would have no problem with Cena versus Hogan after the title match. I have no problem with that.
No problem with that at all. I mean, when you're talking about epic proportions, there were those that bitch and complained that CM Punk didn't, was the WWE champion and he didn't have the main event. Well, my God, he was against John Cena and The Rock. Say what you will about either of them, they're still a humongous name, bigger than CM Punk. Sorry to say that, Phil. I know you're upset about that, but both their names are bigger draws than he is. When you put those two in the same match, my God. So yeah, I have no problem with Hogan and Cena going one-on-one, or Sting and Undertaker, or Sting and Triple H, if that's going to end up happening. That would still be, I think, a bigger match than the WWE title match.